Louder!
Louder, sir.
Scream like I did.
Outside voice.
My name is Chris Rose. I'm from Gainesville, Alachua County, Florida.
Yeah.
And I'm an officer of the Libertarian Party of Same. And this bill, Senate Bill 7026, infuriates me. This bill, throughout its 73, 75 plus pages and growing more every day,
I'm in Montfort.
indirectly or directly infringes on the First,
Yes.
Second, Fourth, Fifth,
so.
Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, and Ninth Amendments to our Constitution, otherwise known as the Bill of Rights. What do these people think they're doing?
Oh, well, I've been here all week. I'll give him a...
On Monday morning, I was right yonder around the corner on the massive steps with the beautiful fountain paid for by me and you. And I stood there with a colleague of mine and I watched over 1,100 people converge on our senators' offices. These people were mostly made up of poor, misguided, misunderstanding, but very passionate students. I say misguided because the calls and the concerns that they were making were purely emotional based.
They were taught to go against the
And while I do sympathize and empathize with their concerns, it is our responsibility to teach them and everyone else who is for this bill that the way to protect American citizens is not by to infringe on the rights and the privileges that we as Americans have fought and died and struggled for generations. How many in the crowd right now are parents? How many have children? I have a daughter. She's 4.5. What kind of world am I leaving for her?
Amen.
What are we allowing to have our children taught? The angry mob, which was unruly, violent, and very loud on Monday, kept screaming, "This is what democracy looks like." And they were exactly right.
Looks like.
We are not a democracy, ladies and gentlemen.
Republic!
We are a constitutional republic, or what's left of it. And we are failing our children as parents as a whole to teach them the difference and the reason why. It is my plea to all of us this evening, or whenever the next time is, that we hold our posterity closely to our breast, and in the same breath that we tell them that we love them, to acknowledge that we will not let this constitutional republic die in their lifetimes. We will not let the socialist Marxist agenda of the left dictate to our children how our government works. Monday afternoon and this past Thursday, after hours of sitting through committee and watching these elected officials, duly elected by the people of the great state of Florida, run rampant on our rights and tell me to my face that, well, it's what we have to do to stay elected. That is not why they were put in office, to stay elected.
That's right.
The Constitution is not a chip card to bribe with to further the careers of our elected officials. That is not why we sent them here.
That's right.
For too long, our politicians elected into office have run roughshod over our Constitution, over our morals, over our rights. They have been allowed to sit here in Tallahassee, far removed from the majority of the population of the state, and pretty much dictate what they will do as they please. I say enough! I say that from henceforth we pledge to ourselves and to our posterity that we will not let these crimes that they commit against the Constitution and our inalienable rights go unnoticed. They will not go unheeded. No more was shouted on Monday. Well, I say no more for a different reason. No less noble, but in the proper channels. No more shall an elected official of any party sit up here in the state capitol and decide that for their own personal pleasure and their own personal gain to further their career, they shall pass this bill. In one senator's office, I asked him to his face, why is Governor Scott, a man who campaigned on the Second Amendment and open carry, why is Governor Scott pushing this bill through? The senator paused and he replied, and he said, Governor Scott is running for U.S. Senate this year. He's running against Bill Nelson. He has $125 million right now set aside for his upcoming race. That's a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen, and that's more money than he had to challenge him. And he said Governor Scott knows that no Republican will primary him. He will be the only name on your ballot with the Republican letter next to him. So he needs to go hard to the left, because all that's left to stand in his way between him and his personal career and a pay raise is the Democrat. And he's going hard to the left, our Constitution be what it may, because he wants that pay raise.
That's not right.
I say to Governor Scott and the rest of these senators, these career politicians who were elected to defend with integrity the Constitution of these United States and the great state of Florida against all enemies, foreign and domestic, I say to you, on this Sunday, on the steps of your state capitol, no more!
No
We
more!
are listening! Message to our politicians, don't tread on me!
Yeah!